Hey y'all, it's Monique Waddell here. I hope that you're doing well. I'm feeling pretty good today. Let me tell you something. I initially was going to start off talking about income today, but I decided, and I mentioned this before, it really hit me that I need to identify some emotions that go with a financial wellness journey. And one of the biggest ones that I dealt with and grappled with, and even to this day, is shame. Shame is a low down, dirty so and so sometimes. And then sometimes it's a very useful tool. And so I'll talk a little bit about both of those. Now, shame as a tool, as a motivator, as an accountability tool or mechanism. Shame can be a mirror where you're able to look at yourself and say, these are the things that I'm ashamed of, and I'd like to change this or tweak that, and I'm going to take the necessary steps to make those changes. But it can also be a prison of your own making, in your own mind, where you are stuck, you are stagnant because you don't want to confront or deal with those things that have made you feel the shame. I even think about, it's a funny story that I always tell to people about my father. You know, today is Friday, and as a child, even into adulthood, if somebody said that to my father, again, he's a retired military officer, a country boy through and through. So if you don't work, you don't eat. And the idea of somebody coming to him and saying, "It's Friday," it would irritate him so much. And he would, if I said it, he'd be like, "What does a Friday mean? You don't have something you could do? You don't have some work you could do? You don't have a book you could read, a book you could write? You don't have some community work that you could be doing? How about improving yourself and improving the world that we live in? Friday. What's a weekend? What can you do on Saturday that you can't do on a Tuesday?" Now, as a child, I internalized that as to you work and you work and then you work some more. There's no need for relaxation and rest. And that even when you've worked, you need to find ways to make the work for you. That's where you find value. What he was really trying to teach me was that you do need to work for the things that you desire. But also understanding that you should be in a position that no matter what you want to do, if it's on a Tuesday at 4 p.m., and if you want to go dancing, do that. Live your life in such a way that whenever you feel like doing something, you have the freedom and the authority and the autonomy to do so. I didn't really get that lesson until I got older, but shame was all I heard in that message, that being excited about the weekend was not something that wise people would do. Um, Thinking about my dad just makes me laugh. But I want to get back to the idea that when you are held captive by shame, it can stop you from living the life that you actually desire. And so, as an exercise, I would love for you, if there are areas financially where you have a bit of shame, and it can run the spectrum. It can be from knowing that you should have made some decisions financially that you didn't make, or you had the knowledge and you didn't apply it, or you didn't have the knowledge and you're older and you didn't realize what you didn't know. Or you've gotten to the point where you have an abundance of things and resources, and you feel a little bit of shame about showcasing those or sharing the wins that you have in your life because everyone isn't living in a certain amount of abundance as you. Whatever that area of shame is, I want you to write it down. Get really clear. If it's I have a bunch of debt, if I'm not where I want to be as far as my retirement is concerned, if it's I have a really hard time experience abundance and opulence and luxury. Whatever those areas might be, write them down. And then this is an exercise that I did when I worked in my previous role. Work backwards. I want you to think about, if the debt I have is something that I'm really ashamed of, what does the ideal state sound and look like? And it could be that I am debt free, right? So you write out, I'm debt free, and working backwards from that ideal state, what steps you need to take in order to get to from being in a whole lot of debt that you don't want to being debt free and financially independent. If it's I have so many resources and I want to share my life with people, but I don't feel that I can because it feels like I'm bragging, think about how is it that I can showcase what I've been able to and share what I've been able to acquire in my life and to build in my life, and what feelings you need to let go of to work backwards to releasing that shame of what you have accomplished. Again, it's a wonderful exercise to do on this Friday. Again, at the end of Women's History Month, the end of the first quarter of 2023, kicking off into a new month. I do hope that this is helpful. Let me know if you have any tips that you'd like to share. Y'all take care and be well. Bye.